Hello, everyone. It's Emma. If you're expecting Dave, he's not on tonight. It's all us ladies again. So it's our second episode of Girls in Old Gold. So hope you'll enjoy this one. We've got a great lineup for you. Lots of ladies coming on to have their chat and have their say about Wolves. Obviously, there's been a lot happening with Rob Edwards coming in. We've got Palace to look forward to. So lots of things that we're going to chat about tonight. First of all, I'd just like to say thank you to Creation Wolf for powering our channel. They give a lot of support to us, and they can take your brand, online presence and digital capabilities to the next level. Check out the website. It's in the description below. But without further ado, we're just going to get on with it, and I'm going to introduce Ashlea, which you will remember from last time, and she can join us to have a little bit of chat. Hi, Ashlea. How are you, and what have you been up to in the international break?
Hi, Emma. I'm all right, thank you. Not really been up to much. Missing the Premier League and stuff like that anyway.
You might be missing the Premier League
went to watch Villa Women.
Season. You went to watch Villa Women?
I went to watch Villa Women today. Not great, to be honest. Probably wish I'd rather gone and watch Wolves at the moment. But yeah, I just went with like one of my family members, so it was just a nice little afternoon out. Cold afternoon out, but is what it is.
Right. Yeah, it's not been cold where I am. It's been 28 degrees, so
yeah, it's all right for you.
I'm taking full advantage of the international break and a bit of sunshine. So thanks, Ashlea. Let's bring the next person on. Let's add Helen. Well, I'm sure you'll all remember Helen. Hi. Helen. How are you?
Hiya. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Nice array of shirts again in the background.
Well, you know, if you've got them, use them.
Yeah, if you've got it, flaunt it. So, what have you been up to?
Oh, to be honest, I think I've just been reeling from the double Fulham Chelsea trip. It was a bit like Groundhog Day. Still trying to get over that really a little bit.
So what time did you get back from Chelsea? Because that's a mammoth task.
It's not too bad for me because I'm in Luton, so it took me about an hour and a half all in. So
that's nice and easy for you.
Yeah. Love the London games.
Great. Okay, and I'm also going to bring on Alexis. So, hi Alexis, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
You're London way as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I was just going to say I was at the Chelsea game.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was at the Chelsea game as well. So,
yeah.
But a nice quick journey back home after. But yeah, I have. I've just been watching England today. Actually, watching England match.
Yeah.
That was good. Nice to be on the winning team.
Yeah, it is nice to celebrate a goal and a win, isn't it?
Yeah, I've forgotten what that felt like.
Well, it's been a little while. What is it, April the 26th, our last win. So at least the men's team. I think the women's team have had another win today, come from behind. But we'll have Hayley on later, and she'll tell us a bit more about how the women's team are getting on. But since we last met, there's been quite a few bits and pieces that have changed. Since the last Always Wolves podcast, of course, Rob Edwards has been officially appointed. He's now in the building and probably set to start work in the next few days with the full team. So I'm going to ask you what you're thinking and where you are with that. I'll go back to Ashlea and we'll start with Ashlea. Your thoughts on Rob Edwards?
Got a bit of mixed emotions about it. I think it's a clear step for the club preparing for the championship, in my opinion, because I think it will take a big move. Season, unfortunately, sadly for me to say, I just kind of hope that he can get the team playing well and playing with a bit of confidence, because I think they all look really down and out at the moment. Probably because we haven't won in so long, but just I don't think any of them look really that bothered, apart from like Rodrigo Gomez and players like that.
Well,
he's injured now. He clearly loves the club. I mean, he was doing well with Middlesbrough, and then he's come to us, and he did say that he wouldn't do it for any other club. Don't agree with all the stick he's been getting, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it's a Premier League club that's coming for you, regardless if it was Wolves or Man City or anyone like that. You're gonna go to that team anyway. But as I say, a bit of a mixed emotion. It'll be a big miracle for him to keep us up, but stranger things have happened. But I just hope he can. I think with the English links, I'm hoping he can bring in some of the academy players, come through, and we can hopefully strengthen the academy again going forward and look at some of the other English players to help balance out the team a bit more. But that's kind of where I am with him at the moment.
Of course, in January, as it stands, we only have place for homegrown home players.
Yeah.
So someone would have to be out of the door before we bought any more foreign players. Is it 21? I think it is. So we might see some outgoings in January as well as everyone focusing on the ingoings. But
Yeah.
Sorry, I've just spilled my tea. But Bosun have. Sorry, I'm laughing now. Bosun have told Rob Edwards that he won't have any sales forced upon him. So I think it'd be interesting to see what happens in that respect. But no, Helen, how do you feel about Rob Edwards coming in?
Like Ashlea, I've got mixed emotions. Obviously he's got the history with the club. That's unquestionable. And I live in Luton, so I have kind of lived through friends and colleagues at work the Luton effect and the impact he can have on a team. But also I've lived the situation where it's unravelled and gone the other way. So I would like to think that if he's willing to give up so much, and I mean, I know it can be argued that he's effectively getting a Premier League job, but I mean, the risks are phenomenal for him. He was in a Championship club that were climbing and were doing really, really well. So I think if he's willing to take that risk, we've really, really got to back him. He obviously believes in the club. He loves the club. I'm hoping he can galvanise the defence. That's my main hope. I'm going to look at it with a positive, open mind and give him a go. But I think he needs to really set up a settled team, a set team, get them playing in their best positions. So a lot for him to do, but I'm quite positive at the moment. I suppose I'm in the situation where I don't think it's over until it's over, and mathematically it's not over yet.
Well, absolutely, and I think that's fair comment. That even if it wasn't our first choice, he's the one that wanted the job. He's the one that's here. Mm-hmm. He's the one that's committed and striving to, make a difference. And I think we've got to thank him for that because, I mean, let's face it, if we're looking at the media, there were so many people that saying no one wants the job. Everyone was turning us down. Yeah. No one wanted it. And it's like, who are we going to end up with? And at least Rob Edwards, he's one of our own. He's Wolves through and through. And by hook or by crook, he will do his best job. It's not like, he's going to be like using it as an opportunity to showcase his talent to move on or whatever. This is his dream job, which I think is great. Where do you stand, Alexis? What's your thoughts on Rob?
He wasn't initially my number one pick, I'd say. When his name got mentioned, I did think it's quite nice to have someone in charge of your club that has that passion, that has that. And I saw his Instagram welcome video. He just looks really happy to be there, and I think that's something in itself. So on Saturday, I'll get behind him, as I'm sure a lot of Wolves fans will. I just hope he finds the starting 11 and is consistent with it. That's what I feel's been missing. It's been a bit chop changey, and I hope he knows who his starting 11 is going to be. And I think if he does, I think, I'm quite happy about it.
Yeah, I think Pereira's made 31 changes to the starting 11 so far, and it's crazy. The most any team's made. So I mean,
no wonder it's not gelling on the pitch when there's so many changes. It's
well, he had this sort of philosophy: is everyone had to earn their place, which meant we were
Yeah.
chopping and changing every single week. And I
Yeah.
think you're right. Consistency is bang on what we need. He needs to find his best 11, find it quickly, and stick
Yeah.
with it so that
Yeah.
we
Especially
can
for the
gel and get it
defence.
working.
Yeah.
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 And I think we need to
Well-
stop captain roulette as well. We need a
Yeah.
settled captain, because it's literally like pass the parcel. Who's
Yeah.
it going to be today?
And then the captain never speaks at the end of the game. It's always Johnston or somebody else who's not even a captain. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here then? Why is the captain not talking to us?
Yeah, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Really, but yeah, I mean the captain sort of thing. I mean, what did he say in his interview in the start? That every single player has to be a leader on the pitch or from the bench. So I think he's keen for a lot of people to set up, but there does need one voice on the pitch that is,
Yeah.
the regular captain. I think it was very strange that Pereira, he had this group, was it 4 of them that were nominated as captains? I mean, I think primarily it was Totti, wasn't it? But I think they all had a bit of a go at it.
Yeah, I feel like we've not had a consistent captain since like Cody, then Neves. And I think after Neves, it just kind of stopped and they just changed, and it just hasn't really worked, I don't think.
Yeah. So what are we thinking that he should do in this first week ahead of Palace? What,
Drop Wang, I think.
drop what? Drop him on his head.
You said that, not me.
I think he should drop Strand Larsen. I do.
Oh, me
Yeah,
too.
I agree.
I know that might be a bit controversial, but I think
No.
Oh,
He
you're
just
in
doesn't
agreement?
try anymore.
Yeah, I
To
think
be honest, I would
he's-
agree, but I think he's getting frustrated, and I can see an element of his frustration because where's he getting the service from? We used to be fantastic at wide play, getting the balls in. We had midfielders that used to drive. None of those things are happening. If he's continually, I know he could do more hold up playing. I know he could do more off the ball,
Yeah.
and I know he could look like he's a bit more interested. But if I was getting no service, I'd be starting to get quite cheesed off, frankly, as well.
Yeah, it is a good point. He hasn't had a lot of service, but to be fair, when he has had the balls in the box, he's looked nowhere near it. He's just hasn't looked at the races at all. It's
At the game,
and
the
I don't
Chelsea
think
game.
it's just about injury now.
No, I feel like at the Chelsea game, he looked so like he wasn't even jumping for anything, wasn't going for anything. We were all getting so frustrated with him.
Yeah, and hopefully, Rob will have a look at the defence. He does.
Yeah.
He does favour 3 at the back. I mean, he has done some with 4 at the back, but on the whole, generally, he plays with 3 at the back, and I quite like to see Krejci in a Connor Cody's type role in the middle, organising, because he's the only one that seems to have any nice about him that's talking and organising that back line. They need someone there shouting at him and saying, "Come on."
In a weird way, I like how upset he gets at the end as well, because you can tell he cares then. When he comes over to the fans, you can tell he's genuinely gutted. So,
but he's only on loan for us, is he?
Yeah, he's on loan. So,
yeah. See,
so
he'd
if
probably
we
be my
don't stay
captain.
up,
He's gone. I feel like he would be my captain choice if he was there long term.
Yeah.
Because you can hear him from the stands. You can hear him talking all the time.
Yeah, and
that's what
he does. I mean, he's the only newcomer that's come, and he's fitting pretty
100%.
quickly into the Premier League. He's picked up the pace. He's settled. I mean, the others just haven't looked quite at the races yet. I'm not saying there won't be, with time. And maybe Edwards can turn that around, but he's got a big job on his hands. But also, Rob likes to play with pace and pacey wingers and whatever. And we don't really have the huge amount of pace. I think it's going to be Hugo Bueno and Jackson that are probably going to be the wingers. But I mean, what? Yeah, well, until January and there's any changes, but it's a difficult one, really. What starting 11 would you guys play if you were in charge? Do you want to go, Ashley, first?
Well, I think he's definitely got to go to the tried and trusted 3-5-2 or 5-3-2, however you want to look at it, whatever it ends up being. My starting 11 probably won't be the same as yours. Mine would probably Johnston in goal. I'd actually probably put Wolf at like a left wing back role. Then I think my back three would probably be Totti, Crouchy in the middle, maybe Santi Bueno, and then Jackson right wing back. Obviously Totti and Bueno, it doesn't really matter what side. Midfield, Joe Gomez and Andre, but then you need creativity in there because Wolves have got no creativity. It's so slow.
Yeah, but who you were going to put in for creativity?
To me, it'd probably be, and I know he still needs a little bit more time to adjust, but Fer Lopez has probably been our most creative, or looked our most creative, other than Rodrigo Gomez, who obviously is injured. So, and then I'd just go route one, Tolu and Larson up front. Like, give defenders two big centre forwards to mark, see what they've got. At least if Larson's not doing the jumping and the holding up, then maybe Tolu will. And then just anything to try and get a win, or even just to try and keep it solid and try and score a couple of goals here and there if we can for his first few games, just to get them settled, and then he can start implementing his way a little bit more going forward as well.
Yeah. Would anyone put Arias in?
No,
and didn't he come out? I don't know if I read this right. He said he's not happy at Wolves now or something. He regrets coming.
Well, I read the original article, and that isn't actually what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I know it's going around on socials that he said he wasn't happy, but the original article said that he would still make the move to Wolves, and that challenges like this help you grow and develop, and that he'd still move. So,
okay. See, that's because I just read the headline.
So, but there's a lot of people that have just picked up on bits and pieces, but the original, so I think he's perhaps got a bit of an unfair sort of, bit of media there. But I mean, I'd like to see him played in his proper position as a number 10, because Pereira never played him in his actual position that he's used to playing. He's always played out on the wing, and I'd like to see him just behind the striker as a number 10. Yeah. Helen, you're nodding there. What's your thoughts on the lineup?
I agree. And if Agbadou was the Agbadou of last season, I think my back three I'd pull Krejci out and push him in midfield to strengthen have him in front of the back line, because I mean, literally, we could do with clothing him. I'd like him in midfield and defence, but we're not Dolly the sheep.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, if Krejci's going into midfield, are you keeping Andre and Gomez as well, who are both quite defensive-minded too?
No, I would probably sacrifice Andre, if I'm honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. Anyone else would sacrifice Andre?
Only in that scenario, though. Only in that scenario.
Only in that scenario.
Only in that scenario.
Yeah. I'm of the opinion that Andre and Joe Gomez are two of our better players, and they should be first named on the team sheet. And I think that's it. You've got to have those first named on the team sheet. Play,
they are, but they're quite similar. I'm just trying to bring a bit of variety in. I know they know each other's play really well and read each other's play really well, but I'm just trying to anything at all that gives us a little bit of more of a push forward.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of our midfielders are too similar. So Krejci, Andre, Joe Gomez, they're all quite. I mean, they're great at mopping up stuff, defensive stuff, but we've got no creativity there at all.
That's true, but then we've also got, a lot of defensive midfielders, and we're still letting a load of goals in, which concerns me. You've got a lot of defensive midfilders and a back line, and it's not really panning out.
Yeah. So Ashlea was talking about playing Fair Lopez as being one of our more creative players. Where do you stand on that, Alexis? Would you play Fair Lopez?
Yeah, he's just not been given much time, has he? So I would like to see him more. I have a feeling that he'll play on Saturday, but we'll see. But yeah, I would like to, because what I have seen, I think it's looked promising.
Yeah.
So
I think he's great as long as he's relieved of most of his defensive responsibilities and he's allowed to push up. He's not relying on him to get back and do a job. I think he could be useful.
I
think it would give Sean Lawson the confidence that he needs as well.
Yeah. Well, obviously they're mates, aren't they?
Sorry, Alexis, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No.
Yeah.
No, I was just going to say.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just sorry. I was just going to say I wouldn't even know who I would have as my starting 11. I would just a bit like you, Emma, would be Gomez, Andre, and Krejci. I'd say are my 100% must starters, and then I honestly don't know who else. I like Hugo Bueno's work rate. I think he doesn't stop running. But otherwise, I really don't know who I'd necessarily start.
Yeah, I think some of the thing is Rob Edwards might want to play in a set prescribed way. He might be wanting, that he wants to be high pressing, that he wants to be in control. But until January, he might find that he's just got to deal with the players that he's got, fit them in the best places, and make the best of it. So we actually might not see exactly where Rob Edwards wants to be straight away, because if he hasn't got the personnel to do it, we might be sort of making the best of what we got till January. And hopefully January we're still within touching distance and both and all loosen the purse strings and do whatever he needs to keep us up.
I mean, I think my only concern about January is it's almost like we're playing poker and we're just showing our cards to everybody, because unless we sell people, we're going to go English players. And then if that's a widely known fact, price is going to go through the roof and we are not going to pay the money.
Well, English players are overpriced, aren't they, really, because they're English.
And then they'll push you up a little bit more as well, because they'll know that, they've seen our hand.
Yeah. I'm going to throw another question in here. What do we need in January? What would you be looking to add to the squad?
An attacking midfielder. Pretty please, with cherries on top. Someone who will drive a box-to-box midfielder if they exist anywhere. That's what we need. Without
isn't that what the Nets is supposed to be? A box-to-box midfielder?
I don't know. I just know I want to see some attack. I want to see maybe a bit more strength on the wing. We used to play lovely wide attacking, counter-attacking ball, and it upsets me. I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, those were lovely days back in the Nuno days where you knew every week what to expect, who was going to be starting. There might be a tweak, but back in those days, we were a proper team, weren't we? So, but we can reminisce, can't we?
Well, that's why I put the top on. I thought I'll have a bit of reminiscence.
Yeah, I like that top.
Yeah. I just think of Raul Jimenez when I see that.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I'd take him back now.
God,
I'd be like, come on, Raul. Yeah. So, anyone got anything that they want to add on Rob Edwards and management?
No, I just think it's really important that everyone gets behind him now. He is our manager, so we've just got to support him and really go for it on Saturday with the atmosphere.
I think that's absolutely fair comment. He's committed to us. He's given up a good job at Middlesbrough. Chance of promotion on his CV, and he's come to a club which obviously he loves, but the odds are just not in our favour anymore. And I just feel so sad that we're 11 games in, and we're already 91%. Optus got so 91% chance of relegation. I'm just like, I don't want to be in the Championship. I don't want to do the Championship. I've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. I want to be in the Premier League. So I know there's a lot of people that's like, oh, let's go back down and whatever. But
rebuild and all that. Yeah,
it's not easy to get back up. It's a tough one, isn't it?
I think the Championship is so hard to get out of.
Yeah. Plus, it's almost like starting again. We will lose so many players. I mean, I'm not saying that they've done themselves a great service and Premier League teams will be picking them off and whatever, but there's plenty of teams around Europe that will want players, and I just feel like we'll be starting from scratch with a whole new team, and I hate that. I'll get attached.
Yeah.
So, right, shall we bring Hayley on and we'll see what she's got to say about Wolves women? Okay, right, at the stage. Hi, Hayley, how are you?
Hello, you okay?
I'm fine, thank you. It's not international break for you. You've been to match today, haven't you?
Yeah, I certainly have. Yeah, what a game it was. I mean, obviously, it was very funny start. So the first start of the game, I didn't think the women played as tight as they normally do. Obviously, they had quite a strong defence. They had like a tight pack. I felt like we couldn't get through. We couldn't break through to them. Obviously, we went 1-0 up. We got a goal by Beth Merrick, which I think geared them up a bit more. But I still didn't feel that we were as secure as we normally are in the first half of the game. I mean, most games we are quite a few up. And then they scored. I don't know if it's about around the 30-something minute. Obviously, Loughborough. They haven't. I don't even know how many games. I don't think they've won many games.
Is it one game that they've won?
Yeah, I think so. Like we've won. We're unbeaten. So we should have been, to me, at half time, like we normally are, quite a few up. But to only be 1-0 up, at the start of the first half, was quite worrying, because, like I said, we couldn't break through at all. We just couldn't. We had a few near misses, but they just weren't going in the back of the net. Then they scored their first goal, which made it 1-1. And then I think it was about a minute before half time, I actually had gone to the toilet, and I never do that. And they scored. I thought it was us, and it was them.
It's all your fault for going to the toilet.
It's all my fault for going to the toilet. Yeah, I shouldn't have moved out of my seat. And the worst thing was, we always sit where we sat with you last time. So we always sit to the left-hand side of the ground. But for some reason, our crowd decided to go to the right-hand side and sit on the back row at the other end. So then we were 2-1 down because we sat on the other side and not in our normal seats. Yeah. So I do think that was a little bit of a premonition. We weren't in the right seat.
Yeah, we might have to have a conversation later about what do they call it? Superstition.
Yeah. Well, the media bloke came over and asked us. He said, "I'm not asking you to move because you're noisy, but can you get back in your seats, because we're 2-1 down, because they scored, so we were 2-1 down at half." The media guy, who we talked to quite a lot, he was like, "I'm not telling you to move because of your singing. I'm asking you to can you just go back to your seats, because we're 2-1 down and we're never normally 2-1 down."
Yeah, so he's definitely superstitious in some way.
Yeah, I think he was really. Yeah, and I think we were, because we did move back, and when we moved back to our seats, all the fans that normally sit near us were all like, "Where have you been? What have you been doing? Why have you moved seats?" I think obviously Macca had a big chat with them, probably a few strong words, and I feel like we came out the second half. We came out fighting. Nothing happened at first few minutes in. I don't think much, there's a few comments about the referee as well, making a few bad decisions. And then we scored. We got a second goal by Charlotte Greengrass. So she scored a second goal to make it 2-2. And we're normally fans. We sometimes get a bit bored, not bored, but we're always 6 or 7-0 up, say, at half time. And we feel like Like that atmosphere is, so we're comfortable. We've got nothing to fight for, have we? So like we were 2-2 up, we were all biting our fingers, heart races through, hearts jumping out of our chests. And then we got a goal by Amber Hughes, which made us obviously 3-2 up. And I've got to say, I mean, like we don't get huge crowds, not bad for a women's game. I've got to say, I don't think I don't know how many there was there. I didn't hear the announcement because I think we were too on edge. But I felt like there was about 600 there. I don't know if that was me overthinking it, but the side of the stadium wasn't even full. And we normally only get about 350 maybe. And honestly, all the fans, when that goal went in to make it 3-2, were on their feet. They were singing, they were shouting. The atmosphere was electric, right? We don't normally see that. Normally, it's just a gang of us that are up and singing, and a few of the other fans. But the whole of the Wall Stadium fans were on their feet. I mean, you could see how much it meant to everybody. Because we had like I say, a bigger crowd today. So yeah, we had a really good game. So we're now 13 in a row. I think that's right. Might be corrected.
Yeah,
I'm sure we're 13 in a row. We did think we wasn't going to be unbeaten today, obviously, when they went and 2-1 up. But I've got to say, I thought Loughborough played quite well. Like, considering they don't win many games, I think they had a strong pack in the midfield. We couldn't push through them anyway.
Yeah, but to be fair, they were probably geared up for it because Wolves women have been banging them in, and they're like, let's not have it as double figures. So they've probably been really sort of focused on the defence.
Yeah, they probably had a big team talk, haven't they?
Yeah. So as we've been talking about new manager Rob Edwards, tell us a bit about Macca, because he seems to have this team well and truly ticking. What do you think it is about Macca?
I think he wears his heart on his sleeve. Like, I think that he wants 100% off them. Not just on on a match day, in training as well. I think Macca's one of those managers that he feels that he wants 100%. He's got high expectations from the girls. He wants them to have football at the forefront of their mind. So football 100%. He doesn't want it any half-hearted. I mean, obviously, he's just won the Manager of the Month, hasn't he, for the Northern Premier League? Yeah. So that obviously it says it all, doesn't it? Yeah. It speaks its volume. We've won. We're unbeaten.
Let's hope he doesn't have a Manager of the Month curse.
No, I know. Imagine.
Yeah.
I just think he's
back. He'll be sending the trophy back.
I know. I mean, today, I think he must have probably thought a few things today. Like we had a chat with him after the game, and we were talking to him, and I mentioned to him I was coming on here, and I said, I'm going to have a little bit of a chat about you. I might talk good, I might talk bad. I said, it depends, what you're going to give me if I talk nice about you. But I think he's just a top bloke. Like he wears his heart on his sleeves, and he expects the girls to do the same. He's brought in some really strong players over the years, but more recently we've had some really strong players coming through. We've got Georgia Marshall, we've got who else have we got? We've got Luann Worsley, we've got think of some, I've gone on a little blank then. So he's brought some really strong players in, and I think that over the 8 years, I think he's been at Wolves nearly 8 years now. He was saying. He's just bought these, bought this. But I do feel as well, he doesn't take gratitude for it all himself. I think that he also puts the gratitude for the girls. So like he's mentioned in an interview that he did recently, it's not just his award. It's an award for the staff. It's for the girls. It's a team thing. It's a one-pack team. And I think that's what it is about him. He doesn't take it all, oh, well, I've won an award, it's all me. He recognises what the girls and what the staff behind, the behind staff have done as well.
That's what a good manager does, isn't it, really? Yeah.
He hasn't took it all on himself, has he?
So would you say Macca's, I mean, obviously we've got some really talented women in the team, but would you say his leadership is meaning that those women are greater than the sum of their parts now because they are ticking and working as a team?
Definitely. You can see it on the field, the way they're playing. You can see I felt today there wasn't as much communication between the girls like there has been, and at the games we've played recently. We did all say that, like, come on, shout at them, shout for the ball, speak up. And I think that's what Macca probably said to them at half time. I think he's a top bloke, and he isn't just a top bloke when it comes to the girls. He's a good bloke when it comes to the fans. Like, he appreciates everybody going. He appreciates the kids. He'll take time out to them. And I think that shows what kind of man he really is.
Yeah, I think that, knowing Macca, I think the other thing about him, he has worked really, really hard to grow the presence of the women's team, to increase the crowd and everything that he can do that gives them that boost that they need.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously his background's from the RAF, isn't it? And he did a recent interview about when he first went onto the AstroTurf for the Wolves, and he had 7 footballs and 3 bibs, and how it's grown since that day. Not just with, the equipment. Obviously, that's not the important part, but how it's grown as a team as well. And I think in the interview as well, he mentioned, like, am I going to regret this, when he first walked in on the AstroTurf that day for that first game, and how now he's so proud of each and every one of the girls, the staff, and how it's grown, like in a fan base. I mean, I don't know how many fans they had, like, years and years ago. I wasn't going then, but the crowds weren't like they are today, and we're getting more and more. Like today, they had it was either Wendy or Wolfie. I forget which one, but it had one. They were there, and obviously they had some children walking out with the players. And that's drawn a crowd in today as well, I think.
Yeah, that's great. But I think we've got a lot to thank Macca for what he's done with our women's team.
Tremendous.
He's doing an absolutely fantastic job.
I mean, we've got Stoke next week, and we're on the telly, aren't we? We're on TNT Sport.
TNT on Friday.
Yeah. Behind, is it Under the Lights, they're calling it?
Yeah.
Obviously we're going.
Guys in the audience, if you haven't been to see Wolves women, and I mean, I'll ask the other ladies what they think too, whether they've seen the women. They're pretty feisty.
Yeah.
It's worth going to just watch. Put it on the telly on Friday. Get a ticket, go along. It's a Hooley at Telford, and it really is a great family day out. It's nice and affordable. It's definitely worth going along. But Hayley, I do want to ask you something about the Wolves ownership. Jeff Shee, Fosun, they've made some promises to Wolves women. We had a difficult summer, a turbulent summer, because of the news that came out that Jeff and Fosun were not going to back the women's team for promotion. We won't go into that in great detail.
No.
But are you confident in the leadership of the club in respect of Wolves women going forward?
As confident as I can be. I mean, they've said they will submit the forms. They've signed. They've had, I don't know if it's about 12 players have signed a contract on a part-time basis. So obviously before, I think there was about 3. Obviously Macca's got his full-time contract.
So do you feel it's already moving in the right direction?
Yeah. And I'm just hoping and praying, and we don't want to think about it as fans at the moment, that when it comes to putting the forms in, are they going to submit them? I think they will. But obviously, with what happened before, you're always in the back of your mind thinking, are they going to say at the last minute they're not going to put... There shouldn't be any reason why, because the statistics out there, the unbeaten, shouldn't be any reason why. But I don't know whether it'll be down to, like, with the men. Obviously, with what's going on with the men, will they not back us because the men are struggling? So will they not back us because they're not the money?
It will affect the club's finances if we're not in the Premier League. And it will, I mean, they've committed to it, but it does,
that's worrying. That worries me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So are Wolves women going to go up as champions this year?
Yeah, of course they are.
Great.
We are. Yeah, definitely.
Anyone else want to jump in there on the Wolves women before we move on back to the men's team?
They're going up, Hayley. You can celebrate.
We are.
Keep celebrating the game.
Yeah.
We will.
Keep celebrating.
We need you to come on Friday. We need you all there. Come on, join us.
I'm at a concert, but I am planning on coming to more of the games. Probably going into the new year, I should be at a lot more. So I'll come and join in. Promise.
Come and join the back row crew.
Yeah, definitely go. Anyone that's at the match, go and say hello to Hayley. She'll introduce you to the singing section of the Wolves women.
We will. We've got a good team.
Yeah, and you. I can't say you're guaranteed to see some goals, but you've got a much better chance of seeing some goals.
Yeah.
There.
Than the
And
men.
some good
Nearly not after today, but yeah.
So, thanks, Hayley, for coming on and sharing.
That's
I
okay.
know you've had a busy day and everything, so it's great to hear about the Wolves women, and it's nice to feel like something good about the club when
Yeah.
everything on the men's side is so
Doom and gloom.
miserable. So, but that's great. So,
Fab.
are you wanting to stay on, Hayley?
Yeah, I'll stay on. I'll be all right. Yeah, I'll stay on.
That's great. So, right, let's get right down to the nitty gritty that's going on. There's been a lot going on. A lot of people that aren't happy with Jeff Shee. They're not happy with Fosun. They're not happy with investment. They're not happy with the way our club is being run by our custodians. There's letters gone in from the Wolves Trust and a number of fan groups expressing their concerns about how the club is being run and the direction of travel. A lot of it stems from the fact that they were looking to, well, Jeff Shee was looking to appoint Gary O'Neill in the role. I think that was the catalyst that people were like, he's lost the plot. I mean, this was a manager that was with us 10 months ago. He lost the dressing room. It was clear to see. There were punches thrown on the pitch. There was all sorts going on. It was obvious for probably, well over 4 weeks before he left that team was falling apart and he'd lost the dressing room. And then Jeff Shee decided to bring him back to a dressing room that included a lot of the same players that had worked under him before. So this has triggered a lot of people. I mean, there were a lot of people already not happy, but this has been a catalyst for further discontent. So I just want to talk to you ladies and see where you sit on both Jeff Shee as our executive chairman and as Fosun of owners of the club and where we're headed. So who wants to go first on that? Or shall I just pick? Go
I'll
on,
go,
Helen.
Helen,
You can see you.
Jeff Shee. What can I say politely? Is it still under the watershed?
Please don't swear.
I think that for a long time he's sort of just been riding a crest. Well, from the old sort of a few years ago, the Nuno era, he's been riding the crest of a wave, and I think it's the gamble that's been taken every season. Sell a couple of our good players, sell a few more, and we've got out of jail every single time. And you know, there's a point where that's not going to work anymore. And I think it's just the poor management, the poor appointment of like sporting directors. There's been no engagement with the fans. I don't really feel there's been any engagement with the team or the staff. The structure, well, there is no infrastructure that I can really realistically see. It's all just gone in a free fall, if I'm entirely honest. And I think this club with a history, I mean, it's 150 years next year, with the tradition and the engagement we've always had with management before, and you could see a plan, you could see a structure, you could see where the club was going. I think to keep going radio silent the way he has and Fosun have chose to do is just really disrespectful, and all it will do is create anger. And tying that in a little bit with perhaps, is this why he quite likes the idea of Rob Edwards? Does he think it will pacify the fans if we bring in one of their own, you know, an English manager? I'm kind of wondering if an element of that is, you know, quiet down the noise a little bit. But I really think that we need to see an evidence of where we're going, what the plan is, and there's got to be some engagement, because otherwise we know how the Wolves fan base can go if they really feel like they're being disrespected and disregarded.
So do you think Jeff's doing a good job?
No. In a word, no. I
Do you
think,
think?
it's like he's had a go at a job that he's never done before, which he probably never has. But do you know what I mean? When you've got promoted and you don't quite know what you were doing, you kind of have a bit of a go and you fumble around a little bit. But the time for that is done, I'm afraid. He needs to step aside. We need some clear direction at the top. And I'm concerned about Fosun because obviously in China now, there is a negativity about any kind of overseas investment. So I understand why they've tried to balance the club and tried to keep everything sort of on an even keel. But the investment that we've got from selling, probably the crux of our team, it's not been reinvested properly. So this is why we're in the situation we're in. So it's a culmination of Fosun and Jeff Shee that's led to the situation where we are in our recruitment, the people we've used for our recruitment. It's just a mess. And I don't know if January is going to be any better, if I'm entirely honest, if the current personnel stay the same.
Well, it's difficult to see the structure that's actually going to take control of this because of all the changes that have actually gone on. Ashley, where are you? Where do you sit with this?
Similar to like the Rob Edwards, I've got mixed emotions on Fosun and Jeff Shee. I agree with what Helen said, like the communication and everything is really, really poor from him or from Fosun as a whole. I think he needs to stop contradicting himself. Like he keeps saying, oh yeah, we'll back the manager, I'll back the manager in January. But then he says if you want a team that's chasing European or chasing top half of the table, then Wolves isn't for you. So how are you going to back a manager but then you don't want you're not telling us as fans that Wolves isn't the club for us if we want this and this. The fans don't want European football every season. Yeah, it'd be great if we did, but the fans don't want that at the moment. They just want a clear structure and a clear picture of what's going on at the club, and we're not getting that. But then I will like link on from the summer and stuff. I don't think they deserve all the blame in terms of the transfers and the money because they did tell Pereira that he would be backed. And if you look at actually what we spent, they did back him. And that was Pereira's team. Like Pereira wanted the players that were brought in.
Can I just interrupt you there? Do you
Yeah.
think it was Pereira's first choices? Do you think, because I don't think it was Pereira's. I think Pereira had the input, but reading between the lines, Jeff Shee was saying Pereira was taking a long time to make decisions on things, and we'd suggest a player and he wouldn't come back for days, and he actually said that about him. But I think maybe Pereira had first choice, second choice, but maybe he was getting fourth and fifth choices, and then that's not the same as Pereira saying what team he wants, is it?
Yeah, I just think like with some of the players that we had brought to him, I think it was mentioned after the Fulham game that we had Harry Wilson, which Harry Wilson was offered to us, David Brooks from Bournemouth,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah, that's true.
it was that
Yeah.
these players were took to Pereira and Pereira said no, or if there was, Pereira said yes, but then they couldn't quite sort of deal out. I don't know. But for me, it just seems like we had a lot of creativity and Fosun seemed to like have good scouts in place to look at these players and go, yeah, here's some experienced Premier League for you. This is clearly an area, or whether it was Tetty at the time or whoever, like saying this is the area that we're lacking in. Here's some creativity, but then we'll give you the money for them. But then he's like, no, I don't want them. Then I don't think they can take the blame for that. But if it was the fact of like Pereira was being fussy and not answering, and then Jeff Shee was like, oh no, we won't pursue him, then we'll go for someone else, then I understand that they have to take some blame. It's just hard because we've had I think Fosun and Jeff Shee have been, like the ownership have been the best owners I've seen at Wolves in my lifetime. I don't know how
Do you
others would
think they
feel me
still
being
are
like,
the? Do you think they still are the best owners? Do you think they can take us forward, or do you think they've lost interest and they should
I don't
look at
know.
moving on to someone suitable?
I don't know. It's the self-sustainable model that's the one that's if they're going to be serious about taking us forward, They need to stop thinking and more about sustainability and think about how we can improve. So like the women's team are doing well, so yeah, we can invest some more money into the women. We can promote like different things and help the men's team grow instead of selling all our best players and buying in cheaper alternative, shall we say, who we thought was supposed to be quality. Like Arias was quality at the Club World Cup, but hasn't done it for us at the moment. So I think it's just the self-sustainable model needs to go. I think, but then I understand them worrying about FFP because, in my opinion, unless you belong to the top six, the big six, FFP will screw you over. And because
But
it's
we
Wolves,
haven't got, we haven't
we get
had
screwed
any
over
PSR.
anyway.
Yeah.
So
We haven't had any PSR issues this summer. We could have spent
yeah,
a lot more, but the owners didn't want to spend more. But I mean, we have to ask whether the owners have lost direction and interest and willingness to invest, and possibly that's why it's not an attractive proposition to players. So there's a good chance that we're not picking up, you know, first and second choices. We're picking up those that are much further down the list of desirables. Alexis, you're agreeing there. Come on, tell us what you think about Jeff Shee and Fosun.
I just think, I'm not denying that at the beginning they weren't good, because they were. I felt like promotion from the Championship into the Premier League. It felt like it was ambitious, and they were investing. It felt like they were interested. But the last few years, they've curbed their spending, selling our best players and replacing not like for like at all. That's what I don't understand what's changed. It's just like suddenly that to me feels like they've just lost interest. Like there's no clear long-term football plan. So us fans just don't know what's going on. I just feel like at the moment it seems like the club's being run into the ground. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's fair comment on the plan. I mean, it's a point I've raised in the past. A business like as big as Wolves, a global brand, you would expect them to have a short-term plan for a year, a 3-year plan, a 5-year plan, and even maybe a 10-year plan. And there doesn't seem to be any plan. It's just like, where are we going and what are we doing? And I think the ownership, Jeff Shee and the owners of this club, need to be showing us some sort of direction as to where we are going. And I think we just need transparency from them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not necessarily in the Fosun out brigade. I mean, Fosun, step up. You took this project on. Do what you need to do. You're custodians of the club. If you don't want to do that, find someone to sell us to that will. Not someone that's looking to make a quick buck. Not some dodgy dealer that wants to buy the club. It's got to be. It's not, for me, it's not Fosun out at all costs. It's because we could jump from frying pan to fire. I mean, John Textor was linked with a move for the club, and my personal opinion is he would be an absolute disaster. I'd rather stick with Fosun. At least we know they are in a position where, if necessary, they can stump up the money. We're not risking any legal battles or legal issues or anything like that. But it's a really difficult one, really. I mean, I think self-sustainability for a football club is completely admirable. It's a great aim, but we were never at a stage where I mean, our squad, when they decided to do it, our squad was so thin. Nuno was moving on, and it wasn't the right time to go for self-sustainability. We weren't in a good enough, stable place to be making. Oh, Helen, do you want to come in there because you're shaking your head?
I'm just amazed really on how we've got here. Really, I mean, going from, you know, those golden nights under the light.
Can I just interrupt you? Jeff Shee said Nuno was just lucky.
No.
What do you think on that? Come on.
I think that's absolutely crazy talk. I mean, it was Nuno's actions mean, look at the players. He got to play in the championship. There's no
Yeah.
way that would ever happen now. You know, that wasn't luck. That was connections. That was determination. That was organisation. And that was passion. And they're all the things that this club has stood for, should stand for. And that's what we need back. And that's what we need from the leadership moving forward. And they really, really need to listen to the fans.
Do you think they will?
No. In a short answer, no.
Yeah.
Well, we can all have a dream, can't we?
Yeah, we can. So, Rice, okay. Hayley, is there anything that you'd like to add at this point about our leaders and owners?
No, I think Helen pretty much said it all then in those 4 points that she made.
Yeah, she was great, wasn't she? Agreeing, come
Do
on.
you know what I mean? I mean, I don't watch the men's, but
Yeah.
I do, you know, what Helen just said, you know, I totally agree with what she's just said.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Merv's just come on the screen.
Yeah, I've just seen.
Jeff was lucky to appoint Nuno. He's the only manager he's got right so far. And I think that's fair. And I do wonder to myself, that 100 million they gave Bruno Lage, what would have happened if they'd given that to Nuno?
Yeah, that's the thing. If he'd have had the money then, at that point, where would we be now? That's what we're all going to ask ourselves.
But they wouldn't give him the money, would they?
Well,
That's-
you live
that's
and
what-
learn, and it's going to be a very costly. Because all they will do, if we do get down, literally, it will be like a yard sale. They will strip this club bare, and then they will decide. Then they will go. That's what I believe, anyway.
Yeah, and I know. I mean, I can't see anyone in the chat saying anything about it, but on social media, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, if we go down to the Championship, we'll get rid of Fosun, and things will change." That ain't going to happen. That isn't going to happen. I mean, my biggest concern about going down to the Championship is they might push for a year, but if it doesn't work, we stand a good chance of our club being mothballed and just. I mean, we're less than 1% of Fosun's enterprise. We're just like not big enough to be of major concern to Chairman Guo. And I do feel concerned that we could drop to the Championship and Fosun will just put us on hold again, and we'll just be mothballed and we'll sit there until they're ready to make another investment and another go of it at some point in the future, if they ever do. I mean, how do you feel if we drop the Championship? I'll go with Alexis. What do you feel about going down to Championship?
I just think it'd be really hard to get out of it. I just feel like, how did we not learn from last season when we were? I mean, I know we were quite clear in the end, but we were in the relegation battle last season, and you think if they were actually interested in it, they would have sorted it out for this season. But we're in a worse position now. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a shame.
Yeah, it does feel like that they're just doing the bare minimum to keep us.
Yeah, every year.
Just
And
above
now
the
it's backfired.
Yeah, well, it's come to bite them on the bum well and truly
Yeah.
this year. I mean, if we do get through, it really will be the great escape. How about you, Ashley? What's your feelings on going to the Championship?
I'm a bit sitting on the fence. I think it's needed in a way, but then I also don't want it to happen. Obviously, everyone wants to be in the Premier League. Every team wants to be in the Premier League, but like, I think with the appointment of Rob Edwards, even though yes, he's a local hero and I think he will get the fans on side and he loves the club, but I think with the appointment of Rob Edwards, I was talking to my dad about it. I think that the appointment of Rob Edwards means that they're preparing to sell the club. And as like you guys were saying, they need the right people to come in first. I think they're seeing all of this background noise from the fans, and I think they're just going to try and, as much as they can, to sell the club or sell the minority shares or whatever it is that they want for it. I don't really know. But I think in terms of the players, I do think it's needed because a lot of them just aren't showing anything. at all, in my honest opinion, apart from Krejci and players like that. But I'm like on the fence about it. I think it's inevitable this season, as we said, unless a miracle happens.
Well, it
But
is looking likely, isn't it? But I just think I do think we've got to give it a go. I can't go a whole season without us fighting to stay in the Premier League. We just can't give up, and I just feel like we've got to get behind Rob and the lads. Maybe a new voice in the dressing room is going to make all the difference. There's clearly players that are not happy. I mean, Pereira called out Andre in a press conference pre-match and then dropped. Was it Bournemouth that he dropped him? Bournemouth away. So that's got to cause unrest and unhappiness amongst the players. So maybe Rob can unite them and actually get them all on the same page and working together. But saying that, let's look ahead to Crystal Palace. We'll go with Helen first. What are your thoughts and what's your predictions for Saturday? Are you looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to it because obviously we haven't seen any football for a few weeks. I'm hoping we can have a little bit of. I know everyone's going to get back at different times, and he's not going to have that much time with the group. But I'm hoping that he can just have that initial rush of encouragement and support and give them a little bit of a spring in the step. I'd love to say that we would win, but I think I'm going to say we're going to lose 3-1, I'm afraid.
Do you think we'll see an improvement in performance?
Yeah, I think we'll see an improvement in performance, and I think we'll see more of a fight, I'm hoping, but we haven't had enough matches with set personnel for me to be happy to say that defence is going to withhold that Palace attack, if I'm being entirely honest.
Yeah, although there are quite a few that haven't gone on the international break this time. I mean, he hasn't had a full team, but there are quite a few that would normally have gone away. I think there's... Andre and Gomez haven't been in the Brazilian team, have they? So that's two players that he wouldn't have expected to have. So, Alexis, do you think we're going to see a new manager bounce?
Yeah, I was just going to say that those exact words. I think it's a home game. Fans will get behind him, and so you see it so often that when a new manager comes in, they just suddenly lift. That's what I'm hoping for, and I'm hoping for our first win of the season. But that might be me being too positive, but that would be good. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll lift the fans as well, because
I think it will.
It's been a bit dreary. I mean, I'm loving singing the back catalogue, but I'd like to be focused on what's going on
the back catalogue.
It's just been like, yeah. So hopefully Molineux will lift a bit as well. And
yeah, I think it will.
You think it will? Ashley, what's your thoughts on Crystal Palace?
I'm kind of on Helen's side more so. I think there will be an improvement from Rob. I think he'll go in there and just tell them, there's still loads of points to fight for. But Palace have lost 1 in 20. So, and they've beat obviously Liverpool and some big teams again this season. So I can't see us winning purely on what Helen said about the defence and stuff, because we haven't got that consistent defence and consistent. But they just need to show a bit of fight and a bit of passion, like they did against Chelsea second half in the cup. Granted, it was against a few of their younger players and that, but show that passion and that energy like they did in the second half against Chelsea, then fair enough. Fans won't get on your back as long as you're giving 100%. It's if you go 3-0 down or 2-0 down, it's if you just give up and make it a massacre, which could happen, but I'm hoping doesn't happen. And as Helen said, a better performance, and then Rob's got something to build from after that for Villa away instead. So
yeah, I won't ask you, Hayley, because I know you don't follow the men's team unless there is something that you want to say. No, that's fine.
My sons wrote the word help. That's what you need. That's what I've just looked on a piece of paper at the side of him, and he's put help. That's what he's just written down. So I've maybe like you say, they need some Maca magic sprinkling over Molineux, don't they?
Oh, definitely. We definitely.
Or maybe
that.
they need to put the heart back on the sleeves, don't they? Really, I don't know.
And I think Rob Edwards has been very keen to emphasise that he expects 100% from start to finish, every moment of the game. And call me an optimist, but I think if you just... These are professional footballers.
Yeah.
They know the basics. They've been doing it since they were kids. And I think if he does just ask... I mean, Palace are a bit of a bogey team again. And if he does just ask them to go back to basics and, do the straightforward things, keep it simple, believe. I mean, we have seen some flashes where we've played some decent football. We've just not been consistent. I mean, we did all right against Spurs and against Brighton. We perhaps should have got something more out of both of those games. So, whereas the players might not be entirely inspiring, they're still Premier League football players. There's still quality there. And let's hope just that new voice in the dressing room, a bit of back to basics, might give us just a little bit of stability. And then going forward, we need some sort of consistency. But hopefully, once they get on the training pitch and Rob gets his hands on him, he can... I mean, if we look at the turnaround from Gary O'Neill to Pereira in just... He came in, was it Leicester away, his first match, wasn't it? And from the previous week, the transformation in just a couple of days was immense. We looked all... Whereas I remember thinking the match before, they looked like headless chickens. None of them seemed to know what their role was. None of them seemed to know what they want to do. But Pereira came in and was clearly very clear and specific about, this is what you as an individual has to do. This is your contribution. And we looked like a totally different team within a couple of days. So Rob's... He's got a few years management experience. From what I'm hearing, he is learning all the time. There's been quite a few interviews of people that have played with him that have said they've rung up, they want to know how this manager works, that manager works. So he's been doing his groundwork. So let's hope that we can see at least turn around of performance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he's a people person, so he will, I think that will make a difference. So all those disgruntled feelings and whatever should be put to bed a little bit just by having a new manager. So
I think he's got to remind them as well that it's a World Cup year. Those players that are trying to get into those teams, you've got to put a shift in if you want to get picked. That's a nice little carrot that can be dangled, I think, as well.
Yeah,
for a team.
No one wants to miss out on that World Cup spot. So yeah, So if you got any questions for the ladies on the panel today, just drop them in the comments. But in the meantime, feel free to follow us on X and on Instagram. We're Girls in Old Gold. There is also a Facebook group which is specifically for females who support Wolves. So feel free to join up to the group on there. It's just Girls in Old Gold. It'd be lovely to have you. We've got a great community that chat about Wolves and stay in touch with each other. So feel free to join that. If you are a female fan, we'd love to have you, whether you support the men's team or the women's team or even the under-21s. If you're just a Wolves fan, please come and join us. We'd love to have you. We've already got 118 members on there in just a very, very short time. So you'll be in good company. So have we got any questions? Oh, and David's very kindly put us the Facebook group on the screen and in the chat. So if you want to join us on there, we do talk about all the things that are happening at Wolves. And as I say, it's a really nice place for us ladies to to have a proper chat. If you're a man and you support what we're doing, please follow us on X or Instagram. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So where did Vita go wrong then? Does anyone want to go for that one?
I'll go if you want.
Too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Too
Ashley,
inconsistent
on
with
screen.
his team.
I've lost all sound. No, I can't. I've got no sound.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear actually.
Can someone talk so I can see if I've got any sound, please?
Hello.
I can't hear anyone.
Can you hear us lot now?
Ashley, can you take over while I've got no sound for me, please? And go with that question. Where
Yeah,
did
no
Vita
worries.
go wrong?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, for me, for Vita went wrong with eventually with the lack of like consistency with the lineups. I'm sure we already spoke about it anyway, but the lack of consistency, and I think he just lost the dressing room in terms of like certain players, and he lost the fans quite quickly when like Agbadu wasn't performing very well and he was consistent in, like picking him, and then all of a sudden Santi Bueno came back. So that was where it went wrong for me. Helen, Alexis, I know Hayley won't know too much about it, but if you want to add in as well.
Yeah, I
completely agree.
entirely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It was the inconsistency. It was the captain roulette. I mean, I expected early days, because obviously, again, we always play catch up with the players that we buy, and we always seem last at the races with everything. I expected a little bit of inconsistency. I expected to see a little bit of shuffling around, but that went on far, far too long. And I got the idea towards the end that if you had a disagreement with him, then you'd get benched. And that's not the way it needs to work. You can have disagreements with people. You've still got to put your best 11 out there. And I don't think we always put the best 11 out there. And I don't think we always play people in the positions that they actually play. And we still expected to get a result. And the whole cumulative thing was just a melting pot for me.
Sorry about that, folks. I lost all my sound. So, Alexis, have you had to?
They have literally just said exactly what I was thinking as well. I couldn't agree more with both of them.
Yeah. Okay, right. So, panel, next question. What position do you think Wolves will finish in the Premier League this season? Do you know what, Hayley? You can answer this. Where do you think we're going to finish?
Oh, you are putting pressure onto me now.
Are we going to get relegated? Are we going to get relegated, or are we going to scrape in and survive?
Do you know what? I might look to the side of me now for my son's answer. Now he's sitting next to me, like he's not allowed, obviously, to come on because of his age.
We'll go with his answer. What's he saying?
Right, Ben, what do you think? Are you staying up or are you going down?
Going down.
All right. We're going down because we didn't get the top players that he wanted.
Okay. All
That's
right.
what I mean. To be honest, I think you like the way it's going at the moment. I'll be honest. I know I don't go to the games, so I might not be entitled to much of an opinion, but I do think you are going down. Sorry.
Okay. Right. Who else wants to answer this one then? Should we go to Alexis?
Sorry. I was just saying, what worries me though is how far away those above us are. Like last year, the bottom three were always close together. I feel like there's already a big. What is the points difference? Is it 7? Yeah, so we're 7th off of 19th at the moment, 7 points. And
yeah,
so then you're still going to be in the relegation zone, having to win another 2 games and a draw. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like that gap's there already. That's the only thing that worries me. So yeah, I feel like.
So where do you think we're getting relegated? Where we're going to finish?
Well, I do, but I feel like we've finished probably 18th because I feel like Burnley's going to drop. I do feel like Leeds might as well, because I feel like Nottingham Forest, West Ham will stay up, and I feel like it'd be probably us, Leeds, Burnley, maybe.
Okay. All right, Helen, you tell us Go on, give us a number. Where we
Exactly
finished
the same. I entirely agree. And I think what will be really, really great in this, I think, you know, we might have a little bit of a touch. We might win a few games that people don't expect us to. And I can see it being really, really tight to 17th. And then we'll just look back on this and think, if only we'd have done that, you know, made those changes sooner. And it literally will be like the end of Scooby-Doo. It'll be those pesky kids.
I like that analogy, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
All right, actually, where we finishing?
I'm kind of probably going to end it on a downer, to be honest, but I actually think we'll finish exactly where we are now. I think because of like what Alexis said, it's the gap. Yeah, I think it's more. I can't at the moment. Obviously, we haven't seen Rob Edwards' first game, but at the moment, I just can't see where a win's going to come from. At the moment, like his first 4 or 5 games in charge is Palace at home, Villa away, and then we've got like Arsenal away at some point. We've got Man U at home, Forest at home, and stuff. So it's like I can't see where a win's going to actually come from. Unless Rob Edwards does something really good the weekend, then it might change. But I think, because Alexis said, the gap from between us and actual safety at the moment is already 8 points. So we've got to win 3 and hope that the teams around us don't win any of those 3 games that we win. But I just can't see where a win is going to come from at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, my head says we're going to get relegated, but my heart says we're going to scrape through. I've got to go with my heart, haven't I? It's like, you know, we're going to scrape through. I'll take it on the last day, and it goes down to goal difference. I don't care. I'll go through.
But our goal difference, but our goal difference is like another point.
It's true.
Yeah, but if he turns the performance around, I mean, it's really easy to be all doom and gloom at the moment because we haven't seen anything anything positive. But come Saturday, if we start to look solid at the back, and we start to look like, you know, we've got some consistent formations, things are starting to come together, which, you know, and we've got some sort of team identity and team plan. Because at the moment, or where we have been, I feel we've not even. A good manager will make us more than the sum of our parts. Exactly like we were saying about Macca. We've got really good players, but with Macca there, he makes them bigger and better and stronger as a team. But where we've been for the whole of this season, we're not even performing as good as the individual parts, let alone as a team. And I do think that Rob Edwards can galvanise these lads into a team. They want it. They do not want relegation on their CV. If it comes to the end, they'll be happy to move on and whatever, and they'll want to wait. And to be fair, I don't blame them. We've had 2 seasons of really, really struggling. So to stay, you just wouldn't want to. But I do think Rob Edwards has got a chance if he can just galvanise the team. My biggest concern is who's going to go down instead of us.
Yeah.
At some point, someone will really struggle and go on a really bad run. And we've got to be back on top and ready to take advantage of that. That's where I am anyway. I might change my opinion after Saturday, but you never know.
Yeah.
Pardon? I've done Helen. Okay. 3. Okay? We've got another question. You've got to name 3 in and 3 out. But you can only buy from the Premier League. Who would they be? I don't know. Let's go with who would we get if we've got to get rid of 3? Who would we get rid of?
Wang.
Hoover.
Yes.
Can I get rid of Hoover?
100%. I'll drive him wherever he needs to go. I'll offer my services, cab
Helen, are you
services.
Helen, are you talking about wank?
Yes, yeah. No, I'm more into
Yeah.
Hoover. The Hoover. I'll be the Hoover taxi. Happily be the Hoover
You're
taxi.
the Hoover taxi.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're definitely getting rid of Hoover.
I'll be the
Okay.
wank taxi. He can go.
You're the wank taxi. I mean, I think Wank needs to bloody step up. He's got years of Premier League experience. He
I
should
know.
be doing so much better. He needs a kick
Yeah.
up the backside.
All he does is pass it backwards. It's so frustrating. It really frustrates me. I'll drive him anywhere.
He's a confidence player, though. So the position we've been
Yeah.
in for the last 2 years, his confidence is destroyed. And every time he's been like that, he's gone on a downward spiral. So Hoover, Wang, maybe. Who's the third one we're getting rid of?
Well, Newcastle wants Strand Larson with
Mine-
65 million.
mine would-
So you take
that was literally what I was about to say. That was my third. Because you guys picked one. You guys did one each. So I was thinking, who would I get rid of? And then I was literally going to say Strand Larson, just based on the
But
way
only
he
for
looked this
65
season. He just
million.
looks like tragic.
But only for 65 million, and he doesn't score between now and January.
But you're not going to get that for him now.
What if he goes on a scoring spree now between now and January? Are you still selling him?
I'll eat my
Yeah,
words.
because he
then.
doesn't look like scoring now.
But what if he does? You're keeping him then?
Yeah, if he earns
If he
it.
goes on a mad scoring spree and scores like 10 goals, then yeah, crack, you can stay. But otherwise, on current form, you're gone. I'll drive him to Newcastle and beg him to take him.
Okay, but you've got to come back with 65 million quid.
I'll be lucky to get like 20 for him at the moment.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
Ashley, come back with 65, pop down to Fulham, pick Raoul up, and
And
then,
a Donna on the way, and then
yeah,
come back.
just bring
Yeah,
him back.
I'll take Raoul and Adama back any day. So we're bringing Raoul and Adama back. We've got one more that we can have.
I don't know if I'd
Would you have Connor Cody back as
No.
a cheerleader?
Oh, I heard that rumor that he might be coming back as a backroom staff. I don't know if that's. But
Yeah.
I think that'd be so good.
Yeah, I don't
Not
know
on
if
the
it's
pitch.
something I don't know if it's something that he's looking to do. I know punditry is one of the things that he has been doing, but I don't know if coaching is somewhere where he wants to go when he finishes his career. But I mean, look at the job he did at England. He didn't really play for England, did he? But he was like, they thought he was the best England player because of what he did behind the scenes. So
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to go with a Connor Cody reunion as well.
I mean, if we keep Strand Larson, we can have that Rocky recreation if we bring Raoul back. You know, it could be like Apollo Creed and like teach him the ways of where the net is and how to find it.
Where the net is. What, is he going to draw him a map?
They're gonna do that, you know, that training together, that coaching like Rocky. Be like Rocky and Apollo Creed.
Okay, yeah. Have we got any more questions? Or are we all done on the question front? Okay, all right. So, we've done longer than I thought we'd do. So, oh, right, okay. We're going to finish off with just one quick answer from you all as to whether you have any match day superstitions or anything that you do pre-game, post-game or anything, just because you think it's lucky, whether it's your lucky pants or anything specific that you have to do before a match. So, Hayley, have you got anything superstitions before the women's games that you go to?
Well, obviously we proved that today, didn't we? First half of the match, we moved seats, didn't we? And we always
Moved
sat on the
seats?
same seats. We moved seats when we were 2-1 down at the first half, and we haven't moved seats all season. We sit on the back row, maybe a couple of seats out, but always on the back row. And we moved to the complete other end and sat right near the back row. So that's definitely not happening again.
Yep, don't do it again. Get your name.
And I always wear the
engraved
same
on
Wolves
that
top. I
seat.
always wear my purple one, probably because it's one of the. I have got quite a few like plain t-shirts, but I always wear my, my purple Wolves top. I don't wear any other one really. I suppose that's the only other thing I could say really.
Yeah. Ashlea, have you got any pre-match superstitions that you follow?
Not really. I just try, unless I'm actually going to the game, I don't wear a Wolves shirt on the day that we play at all. Because I think it was the second season when we came up, or the one after that, I'd wear one like every game and we'd either draw or lose. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. So I try and avoid wearing a Wolves shirt when we're playing, unless I'm actually going to the game. Then I feel like you have to rep the merch when you're there. But I always try and wear an old one to reminisce on the good times. Like Helen's got that one on. I like to wear that one a lot. So that's probably my only real one that I'd probably do, because I don't go to a lot of Wolves games in particular, like in person. So I don't have a match one in particular, really.
Okay. Alexis, do you have any superstitions on match day?
I have too many, and I know it's ridiculous, but I just can't help it. So mine started, I've got a certain playlist that I listen on the way. This all started last season when we started staying up, and then I felt like I had to stick with it. But obviously this season it's gone out the window. But I had to have my nails painted a certain colour. I had to listen to a certain playlist on the way down. I couldn't wear a certain Wolves scarf because every time I wore that, we lost last season. So, and on my niece and me, we have a chocolate at half time. We couldn't have toffee crisps or dairy milks anymore because every time we ate them, we lost. It was just getting out of hand. So.
Yeah, but we've lost that many times now. It's like everything's out of the window.
Yeah, now it's anything goes.
I think it's a fresh start now, and you need to start a new tradition, a new superstition. Bring the scarf back.
I'm going to try the scarf on Saturday, so we'll see.
Helen, how about you? Do you have any superstitions?
Right, this is going to sound well dodgy now, but I've had my favourite pair of wolf socks for probably about 10 years, right? And they're getting so threadbare now. And I've even probably my big toes poking out of one of them. But I always feel like we do well when I wear these socks, but because they're so threadbare, I don't wear them to every match. I kind of wear them to the matches I think we're going to win. And then I'm in a quandary about the socks now. I don't know where I am with the socks.
Helen, you're going to need to go back to the olden times. And I hate to say this to you, woman to woman, but you're going to need to learn to darn them socks.
I've tried to find the same socks online. I've tried to look for them everywhere. I can't find them.
Darn and fix the socks. Yeah, David's in the background. He says they're clearly religious. They're very holy. But I've had my superstitions and I've stopped all of them because we were just losing all the time. Yeah. I was like, well, none of them are working. What's the point? Things that I used to do, we always go through the subway and the white lines down. I used to have to walk along the line without falling off. And I used to rub Sir Jack's boot at the other end when we got to the statue. But then they painted him gold and he looks like Data from Star Trek now. So I think that's why rubbing his boot doesn't work anymore. and on that note, I think we'll wrap up. So everyone, thank you, ladies, for coming on and contributing. You've been brilliant tonight. I've loved having a good old natter to you, and hopefully all the audience have enjoyed it and you've had a good time listening to us have a bit of a moan about Wolves and share with you some of our thoughts. So thank you, everyone, for being part of it. It's great. So until the next one, we'll see you. And don't forget to join Girls in Old Gold. Follow us on socials. If you're a lady, come along and join our Facebook group. You'll be very welcome. Thank you very much. Cheers, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.